Yeah, no, Vegas was built by a combination of Italian and Jewish mafia. The original owners of the UFC, their family, I think, was they're Italian, but you know, I like those guys. So
it's just crazy the amount of like. You like when you really think you're a free citizen, and you have an election, you elect the politician, and you really realize that there's a machine behind it all, and almost none of it was by.
Yeah, I think that's what happened is, you know, they did the mafia crackdowns, right? And what happened is the Italian mob all got broken up and thrown in prison. The Jewish mafia infiltrated their government. So it's not the Jews, it's like the Jewish mafia has taken over and infiltrated their government. That's kind of a good way for, I think, to understand it. Guys like Meyer Lansky, all the mobsters went to prison. Meyer Lansky never did. So it's like Meyer Lansky was one of the only top mob bosses that never went to prison. And he was really like the boss of all bosses, so why didn't he go to prison?
Because he ran. Because he had blackmail on
He's the one that led blackmail on Hoover. So it's kind of crazy, right? I think that's when somehow they started infiltrating he was probably involved with the hit of JFK too.
And that's probably the only pages that we won't ever get.
Exactly. Because I don't know exactly who signed it, but I know how he was involved. He was a big Israel supporter, sent weapons out there. Well, the mafia controlled the shipping docks too. So they would send weapons through, and weapons those would ship with still.
No,
it's crazy how tied in the mafia was with the funding of Israel, Hollywood, all that shit.
Nothing was there. So then, but I was in the area, so I just started going from like block to block.
Sometimes they just change it, different blocks. That's how it is, like the drug dealers in San Francisco.
And I guess then I started going to gas stations. So the gas station attendant will know, like they know the town.
They're like, this guy's really looking really desperate.
Yeah, it probably was, dude. That's so funny you say that. I guess I never even thought about it like that.
You're like, oh shit, that's what people think I'm looking for. Hey, where are you finding the prostitutes?
Yeah, it probably is, dude. Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, so I find this area. I find a YouTube video. It's a news video of them telling like this is like the prostitution area of San Diego. I turned down this. I was going like expressway to expressway, and it was like nothing, ghost town. And I go one expressway over, and this one had, you couldn't even look like a nice normal city, and then at one block over, one expressway exit over, I didn't even get off the expressway exit, and there you just see them one after another.
Damn.
This area was so fucking bad. There was probably like in that little turnaround area where we parked at kind of thing, little street, like the little S street like that, had to have been at least 100 girls up there.
So it just, it can be a little weird. Why is this guy Jeffrey Epstein giving you a jet?
Yeah, and everybody that you talk to that doesn't like that, didn't like Epstein, it's like, oh, I talked to that guy for 5 minutes, he's a total creep.
Yep.
Like, so how are you flying on a plane with this guy?
Yeah, exactly. And literally loaning it to you when he's not even there. That sounds like a close friendship to me or something. You know, Epstein, the guy, what's his name? Wexner, he owns, what do you own? Like Victoria's Secret, multi-billionaire. He started the MAGA group, which is a group of billionaires that try to support Israel.
Who's his name?
Something Wexner. He literally gave his power of attorney to Jeffrey Epstein. So Jeffrey Epstein could like literally own his estate. Yes. Gave him homes, gave him islands. It just makes no sense.
And this is a Jewish guy.
Yeah, Jewish guy, yeah. And none of this stuff makes any sense. Alan Dershowitz, his attorney, he brought him to Israel. So it's like, I think that guy was involved in the operation. I don't think he was just an attorney. I think he helped set it up. But it's not Jeffrey Epstein. It's an operation for Mossad. He was the front. He was probably a charismatic guy who convinced these guys to come there. But I don't think he's like the head guy.
Do we know who controlled Diddy? Were there key people that we know?
Clyde Baker, yeah, a Jewish.
Clyde Baker?
Yeah, he's his like handler. And I don't know all the details, ins and outs of the Diddy case, so I don't want to overspeak on that. But I know he worked for Clyde Baker. That was like his. Is it Clyde Baker or Clyde Davis? Actually, wait, let me see his fucking name. Make sure I get this right. It's Clyde Davis. Yeah, Clyde Davis. That was the boss.
That fucking guy, huh?
So
Clyde Davis. So that's the guy that's behind.
And there's what's the other one?
There's
another Jewish producer that's like a top one too. That's like all the guys like, oh, is a gangster.
Who's in front of Eminem? He raps about him, doesn't he?
The other one. There's Clyde Davis. There's the other one they call like they give him like a gang name and stuff.
Hey Siri, who is Eminem's producer? Who controlled Eminem?
We're trying to make a deal to put sound in the microphone.
We walk back towards the strip, just kind of wandering. As many of you know, I have many controversial guests, so that comes at a cost of being demonetized everywhere. So if you want to support the program, go to fightbackpodcast.com, and I have all kinds of merch on there, whether it's jiu-jitsu, fighting, political, and other accessories. And thanks for the support. It most likely seems like it was a sexual blackmail operation.
It's like Merrick Garland, dude. Merrick Garland was the judge of the Oklahoma City bombing, where all the files were of Hillary's that had to do with the assassination of RFK.
Yeah, right. He's also a dual citizen, right, Garland?
And think about this. The Clintons have your fucking father murdered. They assassinate your father, RFK's dad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, exactly. He was a setup too. That's why RFK has to be blackmail.
His plane crashed, and Clinton was losing that election.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's right. She was going to lose to him, and then plane crash. Yeah.
Plane crash, and then the building that supposedly had all the files and all the documents was the Oklahoma City bombing, right? The Oklahoma City bombing. The whole building was supposedly supposed to blow up.
Yeah.
And there was the same guy who was warning us about the Committee of 300.
No.
Ted Guntherman. He's the FBI agent that came out and was blowing the whistle on all this shit.
I think I've seen this guy.
He's dead now, but you've seen his old videos, right?
Yeah, he was calling out all the shit,
Yeah. So he talks about, he's like, there's this one news clip where they basically like first responders on a stretcher, they had a giant circle ball.
Yeah.
Right? The ball was the bomb that didn't go off.
Oh yeah, they found another bomb there.
And they carried it out on this one clip. He said it's the only time it aired on one TV. One time they took it down. But he had it, and he shows this. They're carrying this thing out on like this stretcher, and the guy on the news reporter was like, he was like a Pete Hesteg.
Yeah.
He was in the military. He's like, oh, Johnny, that'll be easy to locate and figure out who did this. That's a U.S. military device. Probably was in the bomb squad. He's like going on about this U.S. military weapon, this bomb.
And then it disappears from the news.
Gone.
Yeah,
supposedly they were supposed to level the whole building.
Witnesses said there was 2 people. There was someone else with them. The person never popped up.
And then so like our thing here is, I thought anyway, and I mean they made a movie on it when I was a kid about they've supposedly never executed an innocent person before. Like used the death penalty.
Yeah.
It's something that they used to brag about anyways. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah, I don't know.
But obviously,
no, that's how he said.
Think about that. Lee Harvey Oswald, this innocent man.
That's why they came and shot him. He even said, "I'm a patsy," when they're arresting, And he was being followed and stuff by that guy James Angleton, who was head of CIA counterintelligence. He had the files on him, but so he was somehow involved with something, but he wasn't the main guy. That's why Jack Rubenstein had the orders to kill him.
And his wife is still alive, right? I thought somebody just did an interview with her. I just watched something with somebody and she's like, I don't know who. She asked who do you think shot him? He's like, I don't know who shot him. I know who didn't shoot him.
Yeah, right. No,
I know one person who did not shoot him.
You'd have to be dumb if you think Oswald did that and acted alone. Even Jack Ruby in the Warren Commission, they were interviewing him because the official story was he was a huge Kennedy fan and he assassinated him because to get respect. And he goes, I didn't even vote for Kennedy. I wasn't at the rally. And then the Warren Commission just kind of moved on with the interview and they didn't press from there. It's like, give me a break. They didn't want to find the answers. The Warren Commission wasn't meant to find the answers. It was meant to cover it up. They came to the conclusion that one bullet did 7 entry and exit wounds. They call it the magic bullet. The guy who
wait.
It's insane. They call it the magic bullet. The guy that came up with that theory is a Jewish guy